I am a good person. I know I'm a good person. I don't need people to criticise me. I'm there.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're looking at the biggest controversies from Eamonn Holmes' career.
The quality that I would be looking at more than anything else in a partner is someone who's nice.
Ruth's neck.
This is out of context, bear in mind. This is
it that bad?
After Eamonn made some insulting comments on a previous edition of Celebrity Juice, magician Stephen Mullen, while on This Morning to talk about Britain's Got Talent, told Ruth Langsford all the gory details. It turned out that after seeing an image of a veiny arm, Eamonn quipped that the arm was Ruth's neck.
That's my wife's neck.
He tried to recover and, to Ruth's credit, she took it well. But given what we know now about Eamonn and Ruth's relationship, this definitely hasn't aged well. No wonder she kept bringing it up throughout the show, including pointing out that he'd never had said something like that about Carol Vorderman.
I hope you didn't talk about her saggy neck. Well, not that she has got a saggy neck, but as you talked about mine, I bet you didn't say her neck looks like Sylvester Stallone's arm.
Cheating wives. This moment was more bizarre than anything else. They were interviewing Julia Keys, ex-wife of sports presenter Richard Keys, whom she notoriously divorced after finding out he was an adulterous love rat.
So there's no point really sitting here saying all men are horrible pigs, because no. It tends to happen all the time.
Keys wrote a book about her experiences, only for Eamonn to say that women need to take some responsibility for sleeping with married men, and asking Julia how to spot women who are cheating.
I totally agree with what you've just said, and it takes two to have an affair.
Keys was very diplomatic and said that she couldn't say because she hadn't personally experienced that side of the situation.
I don't know what to say to that. I don't know. I wouldn't like to comment on something that I really have no experience to be able to tell you about that.
Still, Holmes went on asking what the signs of a cheating wife are. Couldn't he find someone else to ask? Hot tub joke.
I'm disappointed in a couple of ways. First of all, I thought there was a big announcement from Phillip today. I thought you were going to come in and announce you'd resigned and get your job.
In early 2020, Phillip, Schofield and Holly Willoughby turned up as guests while Eamonn and Ruth were presenting for a long segment in which Schofield announced to the country that he's gay.
You've been very open and honest with Steph all the way through this.
Yeah, I have no secrets. We've never had any secrets.
We'll talk more about this later, but there was some controversy at the time when Eamonn made a poorly conceived joke about hot tubs. He said he finally knew why Schofield's wife and Willoughby's husband didn't mind the two of them hanging around in hot tubs together.
And I thought, how come he can sit in a hot tub with Holly Willoughby and Steph doesn't have a problem and Dan doesn't have a problem?
Holly is...
This...
Schofield didn't mind in the end, saying that Holmes lightened the very serious mood in the studio that morning, but people online were quick to decry Holmes as, quote, ruining everything. Meghan Markle. Back in 2019, Eamonn was in more hot water with ITV for calling Meghan Markle, quote, uppity.
Well, you do know why it's landing at her. If you have an uppy attitude, you're only through the door 2 minutes, and suddenly you're sitting at Wimbledon.
He was accused of being just another cog in the UK's machine of institutional racism, all during a very odd debate about whether the British public was entitled to know the name of the Sussex's pet dog.
And then all these seeming restrictions came on board. Don't take pictures of me. We're not going to tell you who the godparents of our children are. We're not even going to tell you the name of our new pet dog.
Ruth wasn't great in this interview either, despite the fact both experts agreed that the public didn't need to know what the dog was called.
And it seems to be a bit distant, especially since they are taking money from the public purse. So
this came only a few months before the Sussexes announced that they'd be leaving the royal family and paying back the Frogmore Cottage renovation money, but it's not like that made Eamonn change his mind. The R word.
It says, a third of Britons don't know where The 3 largest
Please,
cities
you're
in the
not
UK
Can I put my
are-
hands up and admit before this morning?
I'm
I am in that third.
While it was once a medical term, it hasn't been used in that way for decades. And Eamonn absolutely should have known better than to use such a word on live daytime television. He also wasn't using it in a remotely medical or medical adjacent context, instead calling singer Jonathan Wilkes the word when Wilkes admitted he didn't know where the UK's biggest cities are on a blank map.
I know.
What a don't be stupid. Don't be stupid.
Obviously, viewers complained to ITV immediately after this happened, which prompted a half-hearted apology from Holmes, where he blamed them for taking it personally that he'd used a very offensive word.
And you seem to take it personally, or seems to say that I'm insulting all sort of people who've got all sorts of conditions.
He seemed to have no idea why people were upset, saying he didn't know what other word he could have used. Victim blaming.
Saying that if you wear that, you are inviting sexual harassment, it then leads me to, if, God forbid, one of those girls is sexually harassed, she's going to always feel at blame.
When violent offender Jonathan Haynes was finally caught and sent down, one of his victims, Hannah Cunt, waived her right to anonymity to talk about the case. But Eamonn had a strange stance on the incident, apparently blaming Cunt for what happened because of her decision not to take a taxi home.
Victim blaming really sucks. If a man attacks a woman, assaults a woman, it's never ever the woman's fault, and I never think it is.
She explained that she only had 2 streets to walk down to get home when she was attacked, certainly an unusual distance to take a taxi. But Holmes doubled down, saying that women need to take more taxis to avoid being assaulted. Yet again, people online were outraged, though Cunt herself said she wasn't offended by what he said, but it speaks volumes that ITV has never reposted the clip.
But anyway, you would have got detention if you come in with your trousers like that.
Because it was against uniform policy, not because they say, Eamonn, if you show your ankles, the girls might not be able to control her.
Well, that's a whole other story.
And the girl...
Crystal Warren.
Have you never thought of making a business off it?
In what aspect?
Charging for it? What?
From a woman who wasn't particularly offended by Holmes to one who definitely was, Crystal Warren was interviewed on This Morning years ago. Warren was talking candidly about her experiences as a sex addict, saying she'd been to bed with over 1,000 men. This prompted Eamonn to ask, since she already does it so much, why doesn't she just start charging for it?
But I mean, if you're not particularly selective, what I'm saying is, why wouldn't it be a business to you?
Then it becomes a business, and then I become maybe like a robot.
But she said she didn't want it to become a business and said that she enjoys what she's doing, even if she acknowledges that it is an addiction.
This way, I'm enjoying it. I do it when I want to do it. I get to choose who I sleep with, when I want to sleep with them.
It's one of those things you should think twice about before saying out loud, and definitely don't say it on live telly. 5G. In the early days of the pandemic, this theory began to gain ground until it ultimately debuted in the mainstream media.
And the fake news that is travelling around at the moment is just ridiculous.
Though there's absolutely no scientific or medical basis for 5G harming anybody or indeed causing a respiratory illness, people, including Eamonn Holmes, still fell for it.
So what various celebrities and some influencers are saying is that 5G is a main link to the coronavirus.
He interrupted Alice Beer to say that he didn't think theories like that should be disputed when the research isn't in on them.
What I don't accept is mainstream media immediately slapping that down as not true when they don't know it's not true.
It was this moment that he cited as causing the end of his long ITV career, saying that the broadcaster had a, quote, woke agenda, and that by questioning 5G, Holmes was going too off message. The Scofield Interview.
Everyone was team Phillip and Holly.
Back to Schofield, following Holmes' departure from ITV, he spared no time in attacking his former employer and the people earning its top salaries. In the wake of the 2023 Schofield scandal, in which Schofield's infidelity with a much younger man was revealed, Holmes did a tell-all interview on GB News, claiming that ITV paid for cars to ferry Schofield and his lover around.
But what was happened is that everything at ITV was geared towards making Phillip and Holly happy.
Yeah.
So no one else counted. No one else counted.
He also repeatedly accused Schofield and Willoughby of being fake, and continued to rave about ITV sacking him.
A lie unchallenged becomes the truth. So although I don't want to stand up to Schofield constantly pointing out where he's lying, I feel I have to.
Say what you will about Schofield, and Eamonn certainly did, but it was shocking to see Holmes burning so many bridges with one of the country's biggest broadcasters.
We publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
The split from Ruth.
And just before we move on, I'd just like to thank people for your support for Ruth and I over the last few days as to the news of our separation.
It's not just public opinion that has turned against Eamonn Holmes over the last 10 years. Ruth Langsford's opinion must have changed too, because the duo is now in the process of divorcing. In May 2024, a statement was released saying that their marriage is over, though they've both said very little about it publicly in subsequent months.
Where do you want me to begin, darling, in telling you what's wrong with it? If you don't know what's wrong with it, then there's something wrong with you.
A lot of gossip has been circulating, with many saying that Eamonn has already moved on to a new woman he's been photographed with some even claiming that their marriage ended because Ruth saw messages between them. But other reasons cited include Eamonn's ongoing health and mobility issues.
And because I am disabled the way I am, I can't bend down and pick it up.
Oh, I know, and I have to do that bit.
Yeah, and I have to wipe the dog's mucus from its eyes.
Really, no one knows the truth right now. Let us know in the comments whether you still like Eamonn Holmes or whether you've gone off him.
Airs and graces that the rest of us don't have.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.